Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Your boy Sal in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 272. 272, and I don't want to call it capitulation, but that's kind of what this is. I had a really hard time trying to name the show. I spent like 3 minutes trying to figure out what the hell I was going to put it. I was like, man, you know what? Let's create a list of stocks to buy right now. We got a lot of good companies that are selling off. I mean, companies that had good valuations before the sell-off. Shout out to all the people in the chat room right now who was in here. Callie, Rob, Michael B, Bats, Big Ken the Barber, Money Bag, Sleepy, Clay Track, John Rambo, Succeeder 82. Shout out to all of Sinclair. What's up, Sinclair? Juan Diaz, Gucci, Stock Z, Serious Manny. What's going on, Ken? Matt M, George M, Corey Quand, Mr. Casa, Zach Sweet. What's going on, Zach? It's been a minute. Ann Bullard, hello. Lord Yase, Norrin Powell. Shout out to all the people in the chat room. Mr. Castro, Michael Black, Bad Scientists again, Antes, Cultivation Nation. But anyway, I mean, let's get to it, guys. Let's just hop straight into it. I mean, again, man, this is why I love the show, because we literally just kind of caught the whole thing before it happened. It goes back to episode 267 or so. I named it The Bears, where we talked about how, there were very, very suspicious bearish trades being made. And, where was it coming from? Why all of a sudden were we seeing guys buying these out-of-the-money put options on these, large ETFs like SPY, QQQ? I posted many of those on my Twitter account. I also made a video about black box stocks, and one of the things that I expressed in that video is being able to see how you have people making these out of the money trades, into the greatest bull market, out of the money put trades into the greatest bull market of our lifetime, and now come to find out, these guys are like right on the money. These guys are right on the money. I posted a $1 million last night. I posted a $1 million Netflix trade. A $1 million Netflix put option that this guy had for 2019. 2019. And Netflix ends up losing $13 today. Ends up losing $13 today. Let me get rid of my moving averages here. We'll talk about that in a second. 4%, nearly 5% of its value today. That actually, was a slight bounce to that because it got to as low as $250. That $1 million trade netted that guy almost 20% of his money today alone. You tell me what's 20% of $1 million. All right? That's serious money. That's some serious money on a one-day move. On a one-day move. All right? Obviously, if he would have came in, if he would have took $1 million and it was a weekly option, oh my God, I mean, Who could imagine? Who could imagine? All right, but I know for 60 days out, 1% typically is 10% on the option for 60 days out. 1% in whatever direction you're going in, it tends to be 10% on the option. Shout out to the people again in the chat room. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I want to hear what you guys traded. You know what the number is. 305-600-2896. Make sure I'm logged in here. Am I logged in? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm logged in, ready to receive calls. All right, let's get to it. I mean, you know, on the penny side, we saw a rebound in the cannabis stocks. I had to take some profit off the table on some of my shorts on Buds. You know, really horrible, fundamentally horrible companies. I mean, BUDZ, complete fraud. You know what I mean? It's just, this company will never be profitable. They don't ever plan on being profitable. Horrible company. I wrote a expose on CBDS. Check that out on my website, Advanced Equity Research. They went out and got the former Democratic senator from Alaska to be their CEO. This guy's like 77 years old. He's not even like a day-to-day CEO. He's just basically a figurehead that they use to kind of prop themselves up in mailers and stuff like that. Again, another company that doesn't have any plans on ever being profitable. But you saw some interesting buying in the stock today. I'm still short. But, you know, it's got me looking at it sideways now as guys try to come back into marijuana. But this is clearly a company that has no idea where it's going. In fact, if you look at the 10K, they took a significant amount, almost like $100,000 back in 2016 during the election. They went out and bought something called Gary coins. And these is a cryptocurrency made specifically for individuals who were trying to support Gary Johnson, the libertarian who was running for president, but didn't want to use public avenues. They didn't want to provide information on who they were and all that. So the company took a pretty large stake in those, and now they're absolutely worthless. But here's the thing. Absolutely worthless coins. But the company is still putting the valuation of those coins at 100 G's, and they're putting it onto the balance sheet. Horrible. Horrible. That's evil. 251, you're on the air. What's up? Anthony, bro, you sounding horrible. Sound like you're in a basement or something, man. I can barely hear you, bro. You're going in and out.
I'm sorry about that, man. I'm behind this parade, man. We're doing Mardi Gras, man. I'm sorry about that.
Not a problem. You sound a little bit better now. Anthony, obviously, I know what you're calling about NAK. You got a really solid bounce today. You got to like that. Yeah,
I like it, but it's all about holding it, though. They need to hold it.
Yeah. You're still a ways away from the 50 move and the 50 crossing more positive territory on the RSI. But, I mean, the stock's been really beat up. You had a really good day today, almost 20%. Wow. Actually, almost 20%, closing near the high of the day at 103. Your high was 105. 6 million shares traded today. I got to give you that one. That's a nice trade on NAK.
Yeah, it was nice. Because I got, like I said, I got shares in. I got 2 accounts. I got shares in Robinhood. Mm-hmm. So that saved me if I ever want to cash out or anything. But then I got some more in TD Ameritrade, so I'm good on that. And the other one I wanted to tell you about was Tops. What was Tops doing? Tops did good. I cashed out on Tops. Half of my position on Tops.
Yeah, unusual action on Tops. I mean, it's not one of those companies I follow, so admittedly, I don't know what happened today on Tops. Is another stock that, you know, including the whole sector, really, that's been really, really beat up for 2017. But interesting move here on Tops today.
Yeah, and what's that? CVO? They filing Chapter 11.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the suspicion of what you got to kind of expect with with some of these companies that, you know, unfortunately trade below $1. CVO just recently got to those levels Friday. So,
last week, yeah.
Last week. So, I mean, I'm seeing something about a financing that kind of came down today on that, but I mean, little too late. And this is really interesting because this company just won that major Census Bureau contract for $60 million. I have no doubt that that probably is playing into how they're able to still get financing to work something out. But obviously them, you know, going into bankruptcy, the debt is overwhelming and they needed to do that to save the business. So I don't know how this is going to carry on. Does this continue to keep trading? Does it get delisted? What happens here? But devastating news, you know, regardless for CVO traders.
Yeah.
So
You know, keep your account over, man. I got to send you some because, like I said, I made that got so having that position on top, so I need to send you some, man, just for your tactic, your skills, and you know, you sitting here helping all of us to make money and to prosper off of it.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, Anthony. Thanks for the call, bro.
All right, man.
All right, so shout out to Anthony. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you. What's going on, Jeff? James Cade. John, you said you've been waiting years for this. Absolutely, man. I saw movement today. Because I've been talking about this on the show for a while. I have some deep out of the money puts on SPY. I'm talking 210. All right, I have some March 15 210s on the SPY, and my options have doubled. Now I don't see 210 coming where I'm at. I'm all the way. I'm like over. Yeah, I bought these like 4 months ago. 210. I don't ever see us coming back to 210. But that you know, that was, if you guys remember, you know, kind of one of those times where the market wasn't really sure. Again, I didn't buy it at that time. I bought it only 4 months ago, but I just felt like it was really one of those levels where, you know, with the Trump presidency and whatnot, I thought it would be a great opportunity for us, for me, to put in some, you know, that could be the starting line, right, for the Trump run-up. That was where it started. That's where it started. So I figured I'd buy it. It was dirt cheap, right? Dirt cheap. And now they've doubled. They're at $7 a pop now. And I was shocked to see that. All right. I was shocked to see that. Bought them for $3 and some change. And I'm really happy. I should probably dump them, but because, again, I doubt we'll touch 210. But you never know. You never know. But this is the opportunity for guys who, again, you know, if you've been sitting on the sidelines, if you've been sitting in cash, if you got a little bit of money, there's some really good companies, fundamentally good companies that are going for dirt cheap right now. All right, going for dirt cheap right now. I know Apple missed, but Apple is showing it's oversold. Apple is showing oversold. I see some guys in the chat room putting on some of the volatility tickers, TVIX and SVXY. SVXY, that may get liquidated, bro. SVXY, they were liquidating guys' accounts in SVXY. Straight liquidating it. All right? TVIX is another one too, where these might just disappear, bro. These are so incredibly risky. Do you know there are articles right now, if you Google, there are articles right now where guys were making literally millions of dollars shorting TVIX on spikes. So every time TVIX would run up, right, 1 day, 2 day, they would short it at the very top. And it was almost like, you know, it couldn't get any easier when in terms of making money. At making money, TVIX was a guaranteed mover. All right, guaranteed cash. Now you're in a situation where guys are short TVIX. Most of them have already blown up. You can already pull up the ticker on Twitter. There are already guys over there posting the fact, hey man, game over for me, blah blah blah. You can Google, you can look it up right now. So a very, very dangerous way of trading has unfortunately caught some guys flat-footed. And they've lost everything. You know, when you're short a stock, when you're short something like this that's up 68% in one day, I mean, you can get killed, man. You can get killed on a move like what you saw today on TVIX. You can get absolutely destroyed. You know? Absolutely destroyed. UVXY. All right, so similar play. UVXY, very similar play. This is just another one of the volatility ETFs. Just another one of those volatility ETFs that guys shorted all the way down. And again, catching some guys off the table. That line there is the 50 on the RSI. It's just the 50. And boy, what an opportunity to buy this, right? Gosh, I mean, that's why you can't follow every single stock. I mean, there's so many stocks, but boy, that would have been a great buy crossing that 50 on the RSI line. Whew, that would have been beautiful. What a trade. What a trade. XIV collapsed hard. XIV collapsed hard. Yeah. Look at that after hours price, though. Again, that's another situation where guys getting liquidated. You know, guys getting liquidated. XIV. You know, when you saw that after hours dumping, that's the market maker liquidating your account. You know, that wasn't. You know, that's not selling off after. I mean, that's just the market maker saying, you know what, we're closing this position. We're closing this account. Yeah, XIV down 84% after. That's exactly what that is. You can, again, look that up. Look that up. Shout out to Stock Guy in the building. When am I buying puts on? What about buying puts on UVXY? You can. I mean, they move so quickly. That's the thing. I mean, they're volatility ETFs. That's what they're, supposed to do. But I'm not that skilled, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not that skilled to buy options on some of these. I bought options on the VIX before. But, I mean, with what we got going on today, if these last over the next several days, we'll see. All right. I remember telling you guys the LFIN options went on sale Thursday. I did pick up two September. Where's my cell phone? 2 September puts. Check my account real quick. I did pick up 2 September puts. One second. Let me log in here, God. Interactive Brokers makes you go through it. Goddamn. The LFIN September 21st, $35 puts. The $35 puts, I'm up only $185 on them, but LFIN selling off nicely today. I'm still short CAN, Buds, CBDX, CNBX, SIGO, SIGO. Just the trashy stocks right now. No options right now besides some of those old trades that I've had for a couple months on the put side, way out of the money. Yeah, oh yeah, you can pretty much buy puts on almost everything. Almost everything. All right, but the volume's got to be there too. And right now on LFIN, the volume isn't there. That's why you got to hold that one for a long time. When there's little to no volume on a daily basis, that's going to be a hold. All right. PRED selling off as well. I mean, PRED, going through the motions as many other stocks are today. So I'm not surprised to see that. PRED was headed in the right direction before the general market sell-off. So I was happy for what it was doing. And now I just figure it's going with the flow, as with everything else. 772, you're on the air. What's going on?
What's up? What's happening?
Hey, Treasure Hunter, what you got for me, man?
Let me see. Pretty good day to market today. Pretty good day to market. I did purchase a new stock today, but before I let you know on that one, I'm talking about the ones that's up and the ones that's down. The ones down, ALKM.
Okay. Yeah, that's
a pretty big hit today.
Yeah, that took a dumper, dude. Look at that, man. It shitted on you, bro. I mean, how much did you lose on that shit, man?
Well, before.
Don't stutter on me. I mean, just be straight. Just be straight with me. Well, I mean, what happened?
I was so wrapped up in my winning stocks that I'm about to reveal. But let's talk about some more losers. JBZY.
Okay.
It was only 3 of them. It was only 3, and one of them up after hours.
JBZY, former DOLV stock.
That
one's climbing. I mean, it's got some decent volume. Down today though. JBZY, DOLV. Nice. Used to be called DOLV. Nice play.
Yeah. Let me see. ANDI. He's down, but he's up after hours. You know.
Yeah, that's another one, man. Damn, dude. I mean, these stocks took the shitter today, bro.
They took the diarrhea.
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm not really too sweating though. It's a little camper.
Yeah.
But here's the one I did pretty good. SSOL, of course. Yeah.
I gotta flush those down the drain, man, for you. But let's keep it going. SSOF.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Down. Well, that was up slightly today, but I mean, where's the volume, man? I mean, you gotta, it's been a couple of days. I mean, you had what is that? Last Thursday brought some money in, but barely any volume today at all.
Yeah. Well, you gotta understand, I've been in them for 3 weeks now. So even though half these is in the red now, I got them so low. I'm still up. You know.
Right.
But yeah, another one is DRWN.
Okay, yeah, clean slate. Forgot about this one. DRW.
Remember, I got him on the low, like the kid stole a little candy jar kind of thing.
Yeah, real indecisive candlestick with today's move, though. So you got a doji with a very high shadow on the top. They're really showing a lot of indecision there on those highs. So, you might want to be careful with that because that's not looking too good for a continuation on the upside on that one.
The other one is ADVT.
Okay, ADVT.
AD.
Okay, yeah, still staying within my wedge here, so we'll see what continues to happen. Guys are still buying the lows on ADVT, so still hanging up there.
Yep. Another one, like I said, the other 3 before, like I said, those in the red. Like I said, I got them so low, I'm still up on them. And even though I did lose on them or whatever, I definitely made up for it with the FUSZ.
FUSZ.
Yeah, I made a killing with him. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how long he's gonna be running, but like I said, Friday today, like he's been running for a couple of days strong. So, I mean, like I said, those other plays, you know what I'm saying? That FUSZ, I don't know what's up, but you know how I usually dig them up and you find out what's up. So, what's the deal on them?
I mean, honestly, I don't know what's going on with this one, bro. I mean, this is up 48% today. Looks like you're going through some kind of promotion. I would do some research on that. But that's just kind of where that is, man. And again, if you're up there, bro, take profits, man, because
I know, right?
These aren't these aren't going to last for much.
I don't know how long. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how long. I don't know. But like I said, Friday today, we're running for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But those are my plays, big dog, and we'll see what's up. How they do.
Appreciate it, bro.
You got it, bro. Anytime.
Thank you, man. Appreciate Treasure Hunter. And somebody's so saying that it's just stock guy, he's trading pure garbage. You know what? I would love to see. I know that's just what he likes, right? I know that's what he likes. But I would love to see some guys kind of move up to some bigger things. Because, I'm not even really fucking with these stocks anymore. Unless they're getting to like $2 and I'm shorting them back to 0. You know what I mean? I'm writing some hit piece on it because I'm trying to get it back down. I'm not really going long on trash no more. You know what I mean? Even like, yeah, when we pull these tickers out, I'm like, I already know what it is. You know, I already know what it is, but I get it. Like, guys just play what they call the Momo on these things. You know, they just play the Momo, you know, so I fucks with that. I get that. I get that. You know, trying to turn 200 into 600, you know, 300 into 750. I got that, you know. You know, just that up and down shit is just, you know, after a while, man, you just get sick and tired of that shit. Rob Stratton, you're up 71% today? On what trade? Shout out to you. Shaquille Emmanuel made your first trade green on the day. Congrats. Congrats. All right, SRMX. Ooh, you love SRMX, man. Love some SRMX. OTC stock ran a couple days ago, but I mean, you're down well over 50% from those. What's up? 407, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Who am I speaking with?
This is Arturo. I've been missing you for the last 2 years. Just want to congratulate you on everything you have been doing and helped me out a lot. I'm apparently right now with Sean Detmore. I don't know, you had him back about a year ago.
Yeah, good guy.
On your show. Good guy. And been in his chat room. Been very profitable. Been learning a lot. And coming around 1 year in March and learned a lot from you and Sean Detmore.
Cool.
And I just want to see what see what tickers out there. I know I'm looking at right now the JNUG. See what you think about JNUG. It's the inverse of JDST. I know GST went up Friday about almost $8, and I think it might turn around, and then JNUG might go up.
Yeah, we had a slight sell-off on gold. I see gold right now is up, but we had a sell-off. What was that? That was, let me see here. I think that was Thursday. We sold off slightly. And, yeah, go ahead and lower my voice in the background. Go ahead and turn off the volume of me in the background.
Yeah, I did.
But
I did.
Yeah, man, I don't, you know, I'm actually kind of surprised because I thought as the market would sell off, guys would run into these commodities, but we didn't see that. I mean, I didn't see the rush into the commodity because we would be looking at a much higher priced JNUG, and we didn't see that happen. So, you know, and then you had guys a couple months ago talking that Bitcoin was the replacement for gold. We didn't see guys run into Bitcoin. Obviously, that continues to sell off. So I don't want to say that this is going to, you know, bounce back. We are up right now. I see it's up almost 10 points, gold right now on the market. But JNUG, again, it's just so hard to identify what the price of gold is going to be and why is it moving up and down. I can't really predict that kind of move. But looking at where it is right now, 38. I mean, looking at the candlestick, you know, that does look like a candlestick that says, well, maybe you do have the selling running out and possible some buying could come back into that particular ETF. But again, it's so dependent on the actual value of gold itself, and that I can't honestly predict.
Right. Yeah. Today we traded at almost at the low. Today TVIX. Yeah,
TVIX. Now, how did you trade TVIX? Were you just you just decide to go long? Did you go with I think there are some options on this, right? I do believe there are options available on TVIX.
Right. But
actually no?
It's the inverse. It's the inverse of a SPY. We traded it. We bought in the morning. Some people were buying it, going, and at the last about an hour and a half before the market closed, we actually banked. A lot of people banked on it. So a lot of people hold onto the bell, and some people hold onto, you know, some people are swinging, you know, but I won't swing it because it took a little dip there. If you see today, it took a little dip, and it went down to 12, but it closed about almost 15 something.
Yeah, I do see it's
So-
up here after hours. You're looking at 1573 right now. But you know, like many of the volatility ETFs, they have well, when the market was much higher, you know, when it would
Right.
spike, it would tend to gap down or gap up. So that could very well happen with TVIX. Before coming on the show, we did see the Asian market is selling off as well. So TVIX could gap up even higher tomorrow on that open. So you could see, you know, 16, 17, who knows, on TVIX tomorrow.
Well, we got a couple of people in the chat room that traded it. I particularly don't like to hold money overnight because you know how it is. It
Yeah.
opens up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and my broker, you know, you can't buy and sell until 7 o'clock in the morning, which is TD Ameritrade. So, you know, it's very particular. You know, you got to grab your gains and then just keep on going. This is like a MTM machine. You're in and you're out.
Absolutely.
You know how it is. You don't want to stay too long in the stock market because if you get too confident, look what happened to the Patriots. You get too confident, and I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you're
get
right.
too
You're right.
confident,
You get to go exactly.
You get too confident, you know, and then the Eagles had their way, and you keep coming with a big shoulder. The market is going to show you who's the boss, and that's what it is. That's, you know, I learned it. You know, I got burned. I was a bag holder, thinking and hoping it's not going to get you nowhere. So, you know, I learned a lot of things doing the, you know, listening to you, and like I said, and Sean Deckmore and other people that I don't want to mention. But, you know, I've been very profitable, and I've been going up. And I like your show. You know, I like your show. And I got my sister, my brothers, and other of my friends listen to your show, too. And just, you know, like I said, you just don't be a bag holder. Just, you know, get your gain. Don't be too greedy. That's one of the things we talked about today. Don't get greedy. And you'll make it, you know. Just, you know, little gains like that, they will add up. Sooner or later, you're just going to add up.
There it is, man.
It's just learning and just keep following along. Have a good mentor. You know, it will be you or somebody else, but yeah, have a good mentor and you move on. You'll be profitable. You know, they add up. Those gains do add up in time.
There it is, man.
You have a story out there that you know you make it. You know, everybody can make it. This is nothing hard. At first, I was frustrated. And you know, man, am I going to get this? But you know, once you pass that year mark and you pass the 6 months and then you pass that year, you'll get it. You know, but like I said, don't be greedy. Don't be afraid. Don't get that FOMO. And you'll make it.
Thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate it, bro.
All right, Sal, keep doing a good show. I'll talk to you then, man.
Will do. Thank you for the call, bro. 407. Appreciate the call. You know, speaking of guys who are buying some of these inverse, obviously this is an inverse to the VIX, and you know you can buy an inverse to the Dow as well. All right, you know there are many of those out there. SDOW is my favorite. Bats is he? Yeah, Bats is in here. We talked about SDOW through Twitter. So you know it's a little bit more expensive. I'll show you a cheaper option, but it's an ultra pro short of the Dow 30. Guys can short this again during the bullish times. This is not the great time to short this one, but you can buy the SDOW, which is basically the inverse of the Dow 30. You can also buy DXD, which is basically the same version, but just cheaper. It's just cheaper, but it's literally what I just showed you, the SDOW. Different company, though. This is the ProShares version. I think SDOW, who owns SDOW? Who was owned by SDOW? SDOW is through another ETF company. They're not saying who now, but DXD. And again, these are ones you could have shorted all the way down to these lower levels, but obviously they got killed today. But up 9% today. Again, inverse of the Dow 30, DXD. All right. Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the call, sir. 646. You on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, it's Ken.
Ken, what's going on, man?
Oh, let's go. Tell you what, you think this Bitcoin crap is taking the whole market down? It's down to 6,200 now.
I don't think Bitcoin has anything to do with this at all. You know, Bitcoin has its own issues. You got banks all around the world saying that they're no longer going to allow their customers to use their debit cards to buy cryptocurrency. You got countries coming out saying they're no longer going to allow their countrymen to buy cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin's they've got their own issues they're dealing with. This was a valuation situation where they just guys just couldn't come to the fact of buying more. They just couldn't continue to buy more. I mean, when we were staring in the face at, 200 plus Apple, 220 plus, what was that, Netflix. So it was a valuation situation, and guys are taking profits. But there's opportunity now. We're going to discuss that in a bit. But when we look at Bitcoin, going to 1,000, by the way. This is going to 1,000. Sorry. But go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
I was going to let you know, Sal, that there are Senate hearings about Bitcoin tomorrow morning, although probably not going to make a difference. It's already come crash. It's already down.
I mean, it's not going to make the situation better. I'll tell you that much. It's not going to make the situation better. Bitcoin right now is it's a complete disaster. I hate the fact that so many people got in so late at the top, and guys are losing their ass, and you can see it. I mean, in the Twitter mentions, you go back to Twitter, November, December, you couldn't get away from Bitcoin. I mean, it just was inundated. I felt like Twitter became, it became Bitcoin. You know what I mean? You just couldn't run away from this shit. Now, you got to actually search for Bitcoin mentions. I mean, that's how sad these investors have become in Bitcoin. I mean, they literally ran for their life. They've disappeared. They've vanished. And it is what it is, Bitcoin.
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. I wanted to go over a stock. Can you take a look at AKER? It came down today, although I think it's near support. Around 37 to 40 would be support. What are your thoughts on that? It's that biotech one.
Yeah, we talked about AKER, and I mentioned, look, it filled the gap. I mean, I mentioned that on the show last week, and we saw, even after I mentioned that on Thursday, you still had a nice move on Friday. But today, again, hesitation at those higher levels as you would get above that price. So, the move in AKER was the gap fill. I don't know where it is from now. Obviously, there's some merger news regarding AKER. If that's what you want to hold for, then, obviously you're going to have to be patient and see that come to fruition. But for right now, I mean, what's the volatility? I mean, what's the case to move up higher on fundamentals? I don't know what that is.
No, right. I don't think earnings are coming until March. Some people keep chatting about FDA news. I don't know. Yeah. So we'll just wait and see on that one. How about the let's take two others. I wanted you to take a look at LDSR and NPHC.
LDSR. Landstar. Okay, wow. All right. So it looks like an interesting pump here. LDSR sold off today, down 20%. Yeah, I mean,
big move last week.
Yeah, huge moves last week, and I'll give that to him. Obviously, I mean, if you played the run up on whatever email got you into that LDSR, you definitely enjoyed the ride coming in out of December, but. At these higher levels, who knows what this can do now?
Exactly.
What was that second play?
It was the NPHC. That was that biotech one. Nancy, Paul, Harry, Charlie.
Let me see here. NPHC.
Nancy, NPHC.
Let me see. Let me look at that up. Oh, Nutrapharma. Okay, all right. I remember this from last week. Down 23% today, though. Man, that's a tough L to take 2 days in a row as well. I mean, this stock had a good run.
Yes, it did.
From 0005 to 0070. What is that? About 700%. So I mean, you had a really good run in NPHC for the guys who went long and strong and held. So I mean, they're taking their profits, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So just a crazy market. You were talking about the UVXY and TVIX. Wow, I mean, what a move on those.
Yeah, I mean, those volatility tickers. If you can, we just had the caller said he made a killing on it, and his group over there and at Deckmark Trades. I'm not surprised. I mean, if you catch those at the money, And, whether you're playing the VIX on the options or you're playing straight, stock, you can make a killing if you catch it at the right time. So congrats to them.
And you still have those long-term? You had talked a few months ago about having long-term SPY puts. Or
I mentioned that earlier in the show. I still got the 210s. They've doubled in value. I don't think we're not going to get to 210, obviously, but I'm going to look for the opportunity to sell more than likely tomorrow morning.
Good.
On SPY, because I can see a very strong bounce coming either midday tomorrow or, we could see it in the morning. But again, I'm looking at Japan, and Japan is selling off. So, I think we're going to continue to see some more blood, in the market tomorrow. But I know we can't go much lower. I mean, we've lost a lot of value, almost $70 billion in the FANG stocks alone in 4 trading days. $70 billion. So I don't know how much more we can lose of this. I mean, I had somebody, get back at me on Twitter about, can we see bread lines? Hell no. I don't think we're going to get to that point where the bread lines and all that Depression era shit. But I mean, it is scary after a while. I mean, if this continues on, it's like, hey, okay, what's going on?
Yeah, they mentioned that on Fast Money too. It is scary how fast we dropped 800 points in 20 minutes this afternoon.
Absolutely. Well, that's why I love shorting. That's why I love shorting, because the money you can make on the downside, it comes a lot faster than money that going up. So as you can see, just looking at the chart, stocks come down faster than they go up. So nice trades for the guys who are very pessimistic about the bull about markets. Period. But again, long traders not enjoying these last couple of days.
Yeah, the only good thing is the 10-year bond, the rate is now down to 2.67. It was as high as 2.88. So maybe it'll plateau. Eventually we're going to see buyers come back in. There was mention about guys with cash on the sidelines to come and buy these dips, and there sure will be market participants come back in. Look, 10 a year from now, 2 years from now, this will all be, we'll be talking 330, 340 SPY. So this is a buying opportunity at the end of the day. All right.
Yes. And this is not the opportunity. This is not the time to be scared or to be, oh my God, what's happening? This is an opportunity to buy. And,
right,
you just
sell, like Kramer said.
Absolutely, to take advantage of this and understand that, fundamentals are still really, really good worldwide. And, this is the time to be buying. Absolutely.
All right. Enjoy. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Ken. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and when I mentioned this is the time to buy, buy and hold, right? Buy and hold. This isn't buy and look to try to sell on Friday, which could be very much a green day, but it would make sense for you to want to get something, like let me see something that really sold off today. I saw Netflix do some really ugly shit today. We saw Netflix, literally come all the way back to its earnings price, announcement price at the 254s, which might cover the gap. So you might have a little bit more of that. But I mean, this you can't go wrong. Netflix, you really can't go wrong with what they're doing. There's no competition for the next 5 years for Netflix. Facebook too. Yes, earnings was a little bit, people are spending less time, but, business, there's no competition. There's no competition. Someone's saying there's a guy in the chat room. Yeah, that I know that guy's in the chat room, and that's the thing. You guys, those are the people, the agitators who come in because they know I don't support that kind of lifestyle. So they're trying to agitate me to say something to flag my shit. That's why. If he says something, just ban him out of here. Just ban him out of here. Just ban him out of here. Next time he does some shit like that. All right, let's keep it going. Apple. Yeah, Apple's another one. Now, Apple, I'm not a big fan of Apple because it's a one product company. All right. I just feel, a popular phrase is a one trick pony. I think Apple's like that. I mean, who still buys Apple computers? Like the actual computers. Does anybody buy their computers anymore? Are they still the best when in terms of video, production and music production? Because I remember 10 years ago, if you were in video production, music production, you had to get an Apple, right? Final Cut and all these other, software that you kind of only had to, use on Apple products. And I don't see that kind of conversation anymore. I don't see that kind of conversation happening anymore when you talk about Apple. So AAPL selling off here. You're going to get a bounce. You're going to get a bounce. I mean, 21 on the RSI Apple. Good Lord. Good Lord. This is really a beating that some of these stocks are taking. And again, we can do a simple, RSI trend line strategy if you want to do it that way. Here's the daily chart, right? So you buy when it breaks the pattern, all right? And again, you just kind of try to figure out, let me see, how many lines. You want to hit as many tops as possible, but it always isn't all that perfect. But you basically want to just try to find when it breaks that line and starts to go positive again, and that's when you can go in. That's when you can go in. All right. And trend line breaks work well on these large cap stocks. I'm using a daily chart. I know some people like to use this like on an hourly, but trend line, RSI trend line purchases work very, very well. If in fact you can go in and just kind of figure out. And again, I'm just doing that because I want to show you an example of how that works when you use trend lines. Breaking again, that's where you would have bought here in Apple as it broke higher above the broken trend line, going all the way back from August of 2017. You would have went in there in September 2017, September 26th to be exact. That would have been a nice run to above the 50 on that RSI. It would have been a very nice profit potential there for you. And it's going to be a very similar move that you're going to be able to make here. When this eventually breaks that trend line, all right, that started at the beginning of this selling, which was January 18th, for Apple anyway, once that breaks these levels, you're going to be able to go in, and God knows how much higher this could possibly go. But that's how you would use an RSI trend line strategy to trade that. All right. And again, I'm using the daily chart. You can use a very similar method and go in on an hourly. I don't like going in any shorter than the hourly. 4 hours is a really good one too. Daily, of course, out of all of those that I mentioned, is going to show you a proper signal, a proper entry signal. Said Apple's still profitable, over $1 billion in reserves. Oh, absolutely. I mean, Apple. Oh, you said over $1 billion in reserves. They have way more than $1 billion in reserves, bro. Apple is sitting on almost like $320 billion that's overseas. If you remember, President Trump had mentioned Apple quite a number of times about how he was going to try to get them to bring that money back to the United States. So Apple's sitting on significantly more than $1 billion when you're talking about reserves. Put a couple 300 on that. All right. So just mentioning there an RSI trend line strategy. Many of you guys already know about that, but that's a great way to trade when you just don't know when to get in. Using RSI, which has always been a great indicator to use, and using that in corresponding with another indicator like maybe MACD or something like that to verify the change in the trend. All right. Once Amazon starts selling drugs is a dumb deal. Oh, once Amazon starts delivering marijuana, it's a done deal for these weed stocks. And that's not that, don't put that out of the question. I never thought a company would deliver anything I wanted, or in terms of retail, to my house in an hour either. If you told me 3 years ago that you would be able to get mouse pads and food and all that stuff from a website delivered to my house in an hour, I would have thought that could happen, but I didn't think it would happen as soon as it did. Now it's reality. It's an absolute reality. What's going on, Artie Buckley? NVIDIA? Let's talk about NVIDIA. Let's talk about NVIDIA. All right. NVIDIA. 213 NVIDIA. Oh, that's a buy. That's a buy. But again, let's see how this is. We're below the 50 now on NVIDIA. We're at the 40 RSI to be exact. This has been quite a, guys are buying though. I mean, you can see here, there's the shadow. Guys are buying these dips. They know what it is. They know what it is. We've talked NVIDIA here quite a number of times. NVIDIA, too, by the way, earnings is around the corner for NVIDIA. So they know what it is, man. Guys who know NVIDIA is going to crush. I'll tell you right now, they're going to crush. It's not. You're not going to see an Amazon $86. Let me see. We'll pull up. What's the date? February 18th. All right. So February 8th. February 8th is earnings for NVIDIA. Oh yeah. I mean, tomorrow, dude. If you get the opportunity to get this again at 210, you grab some of these 210. Monthly calls that are on some discounts here. Hell, if you've got the cash, maybe, obviously, I mean, the IV is high, so these aren't the cheapest. They aren't the cheapest calls in the world, but if you can get a 60, 120-day option on NVIDIA, for 210, 220, 225, dude, you're gonna be sitting pretty. You're gonna be sitting pretty. But again, let's get some clarification on when this bleeding is going to stop. When this bleeding is going to stop. That's what we're looking for still. We didn't get the sign today. We didn't get that sign today. China is another bubble, by the way, too. China is another bubble. For those of you guys who read, news coming out of China and their property bubble situation. Their property bubble situation in China. And that's going to be the one that's going to rock the market internationally. All right. What other options would you look at right now? Well, right now, I mean, like I just mentioned, NVIDIA, is on the table for me. But again, I got to see a clear sign that the selling is over. I got to see a clear sign that the selling is over. I mean, you go into these situations right now, and like, for example, you had guys who bought puts on Friday, right? They're down huge right now. I mean, they literally have probably lost. If you bought calls, let me correct myself. If you bought calls on Friday in any of these stocks we just pulled up, you're possibly down almost 70 to 80%. In that call right now, especially when you're talking about, stocks like NVIDIA. For example, if you bought the 236, that 240 call on Friday, and you're talking about a weekly option, oh, I don't even want to know what your account looks like right now. That's how ugly it probably is. That's how ugly it probably is. Do you see POTN will see $1? Absolutely. POTN has been a star, man. That's a company that, they just been getting it right. They're one of the few, and it's not even a cannabis play. It's just a CBD product where people just love the product. They have yet to even go international, so that's a discussion that they've been having, but they have yet to actually follow through on. POTN can very well do that. It's had an incredible ride. So it's a little bit sideways right now. This is an opportunity where you can kind of go in if you're willing to sit around for a while, and it's going to look good. All right, and they're getting the fundamentals right too. They just broke 1.6 million in revenue. I remember when they announced they broke 1 million a couple months ago. So they're doing it right now. PURO. What the hell is going on? I don't know what happened to the ticker. What happened to PURO? I I don't even see the ticker, bro. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Let me see here. That is not a good sign, bro. PURO. I can't even pull it up on OTC Markets unless they change their name. Unless they change their name. Again, you can't follow every ticker, but OTC PURO, I have no idea what happened. I got a black screen for them. All right, so they did change their name. PURO is going to be, they changed their name to BFCH. So PURO is now BFCH, Bit Frontier Capital Holdings. Now, I do remember them saying that they were going to do that because if you remember, the run-up on PURO was the fact that they announced that they were going to become a Bitcoin company. They did also mention that they were going to change their name, but I don't remember getting a date for it. I don't remember having a date for it. Well, I mean, that makes sense for them. That makes sense for them. All right. We talked about PRED. Just following the market right now. It was headed in the right direction before the selling. Hey, gay bodybuilder, I'm gonna have to have you calm down on that, bro. You know, this guy's over here talking about sexual acts, man. We over here talking about money. RC. You know what? You know what? Because I can't. That's just. You know what? I'm gonna.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
Get up out of here, man. Where's he at, bro? Where's he at? You see, he just deleted. Where is he at? Get his ass up out of here, man. Get your ass up out of here. Yeah. Why is it not letting me block him? I'm gonna wait for him to say something else. All right, let's keep it going, man. Trying to knock me off my game. GRCK? Yeah, we're talking about stocks. He's bringing up some damn head or whatever. Yeah, I can't ban them either. GRCK, Gray Cloak Tech. Gray Cloak Tech, down 12%. Come on, guys. I mean, you guys are bringing up OTCs. Look, I love OTCs too, but we got some real opportunities right now in these large caps to make some real life-changing money. You guys are bringing up OTCs, man. Damn. You know, you want to get your money right. You want to get your money right? Pull up some of these you know, large caps that have been running 78, 80% for the year, and you're getting them at discounts right now, bro. That's going to get your money right. Let me see here. All right, so we pulled up Apple. We pulled up that. All right, so here's the one thing I want to talk about, too. I want to talk about oil. Because we've seen these last couple of days, too, we saw a little bit of a sell-off in oil. But today was, I mean, you know, when I looked at the chart, oil was 65 on Friday. We're at 63 right now. So we've lost about $2.80, $2.90 in oil. Here's the thing. JP Morgan, if you go to oilprice.com, JP Morgan has a $70 price target for oil. There are a couple institutions that have it a little bit higher. I saw as high as $75, $78. So right now we're at 64. You know, I still like oil. I still like oil. Let me see here. Wow, look at that. We're back to, where are we back to? December, all right? So we're back to December prices. All right, I think we find support here. I'm watching the oil right now. Right now, crude, that's the right way to actually say it. Crude is down slightly 1% after hours. Wow, is this continuing to sell off? Ah, dang. All right, crude continuing to sell off slightly. So we might have continuation of some bleeding there on XOP. Have some continuation on XOP, but another great commodity that again has been having an incredible run since summer. XOP now selling off. I think it's an opportunity here once that levels out. But crude is one to watch. Crude is one to watch. Yeah, I got to figure out how to get him out of here. And this guy comes to every show. I don't know what he's coming into our stock into our show to talk about getting head and shit. Bank of America, all right. Bank of America. Ooh. Boy, $29 BAC would have been nice, huh? Oh, you got the $29.50 too. But RSI is still beating up. Again, here's another one. Here's another one. Gotten really low on that RSI. Boy, but look at that candlestick. You did have the dip buy opportunity there on BAC. But again, I'm looking after hours in the Asian market. Let me go back on there. Let me go back to the Asian market. Where's the Asian market at right now? Let me see here. The Nikkei is down 5% right now. Down almost 1,200 points on the Nikkei. So German index too is down. But not looking so good, ladies and gentlemen. Futures are down. Look at that. We're already down 100 points in NASDAQ futures. Down almost 50 points in S&P 500 futures. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue to see this bearish move, man. So, shout out to the guys who are still holding puts. Shout out to the guys who are still holding puts. I had some damn Netflix puts a couple of days ago. If you remember, I posted that on my Twitter as well as my Instagram. When I killed it last week, bro. I killed it. This morning I showed. I don't know what happened. I just didn't see nothing, bro. And especially when I saw, because I was looking at a trade in Boeing, very liquid options in Boeing, great spread. And by the way, I have never seen some of these spreads that I'm seeing right now on SPY and the Qs. These spreads are pretty wide. Like during the day they get tight, but I mean, just looking like before the show, I was looking at some of these spreads. I'm like, good God. But anyway, I was looking at Boeing this morning. And when I saw this is the 5-minute, I saw that, I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm out. And I just, and it just never, I don't know. I just didn't pay attention. I saw this move, and I just felt like guys were dip buying, and I went straight into the pennies. And I picked up a really nice trade in a capitulation, straight out of Tim Sykes' book. Not book, but let me see. What was that? PU. I want to say it's PU. Not. What was that? RCAR. I'll post that game on Instagram tonight. But that was a nice little capitulation trade on RCAR. There it is. That was a beautiful one, man. That trade was beautiful. I got in a little late, but that was a beautiful catch. RCAR. I don't know if anybody saw that trade today. But RCAR was disastrous trade. All right. M not Macy's. So which one is it? I mean, because M, the only ticker for M is Macy's. Unless you're talking about MU, which is the Micron. And by the way, let me get out of the 5-minute, get a Micron. That one's looking kind of pretty too. But that was kind of funneling for a while there between 38 and 46. So that looks like that had been going through some issues for a while. Let's look at Intel real quick. There are quite a few bargains. And Intel, by the way, interestingly enough, Intel, this is a stock that earnings was very impressive. Very impressive earnings for Intel. Very impressive for Intel. All right. So Intel is going to be one of those stocks too. You're going to be taking a look at. One other stock too, PayPal. I've been very shocked at PayPal. I thought 77.91. I said, okay, you could never break that 77. But look at PayPal. And at this point, it's not the eBay news. And at this point, I think it's going on with the the general marketplace where you just got guys taking profits. And PayPal, unfortunately, going through it right now. But that's another stock that you need to really be paying attention to, because this is a fundamentally strong company with a great business that I'm telling you right now, I think the next step for them is to go into the remittance business. I think that can grow. They've got the brand loyalty, but not only that, but the brand name, right? Brand name, brand loyalty. I think if they can go after, a company like MoneyGram or something like that, I think it can be an incredible acquisition for them. I'd love to see PayPal go into the remittance business. All right. But I'm kind of wishing right there. I'm kind of wishing. I appreciate what you're doing, Cali Rob. 772, you're on the air. What's up?
What's happening, Sal? What's happening, man?
Hey. What you got for me, man?
Watching the show, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like watching the show, man. It's crazy to decide to troll. You can't get this troll out the damn chat room.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. What's going on, Treasure?
True that. Well, I was going to say, man, the chat room, they know what's up, man. OTC's where the money's at. Right now, into the large cap, get their head right, get their mind right. Nobody going to spend that kind of big money on them stocks. I know where you're coming from, though. You can get on a discounted dip. But, you know about that falling knife. I'm talking about, can't catch that falling knife right now. When I first started the game, I did that, expensive stocks. I didn't make no money. I make more money, the smaller like OTCs and stuff,
Yeah. I mean, if it works for you. I mean, if it works for you. If it works for you.
You're right, I did find my pattern.
Right. If you find something that works for you and you're happy with what you're getting, but there are some guys who just don't want to deal with waking up in the morning and having a stock that's down 40%. You know what I'm saying? And if they're going to go through that, they'll rather have that happen in an option where they've only put up, a couple $100. So I see what you're saying, and again, man, appreciate the call, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I was gonna say, man, look what's up with Home Depot.
Oh, let's check that out.
Yeah, they got the ass kicked today, bro. I was like, holy smokes! I know they called a lot of people up there. I'm not in it, but I just looked at it. They got a lot of people up there hanging.
Thank you for bringing that up. I don't know why they didn't
right.
Go through my oversold.
That's about that kind of drink. All right, man. Just let you know.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro. Good work, bro.
Yes, indeed, man. Thank you. I don't know why they didn't pop up my FinViz oversold scan, but I do see it's holding just above the 30. That's probably why. I was looking for anything below 30 on the RSI, and Home Depot holding there at 30.9. 30.9. 30.9. Yeah, I'm going to go to his, I'm going to figure out how to, I'm going to go to his thing and block him from his channel once I get a second. My Twitter is OTC3000. My Instagram is Free Stock Picks. Does all those bearish movements happen from multiple catalysts, or is this natural? Yeah, I mean, this is natural, man. This is what happens when, look at, for example, you look at a stock like Home Depot, when you're going from 2017 135 to 183, I mean, almost $54 in 12 months. That's a lot. That's a lot of, value being added to a company, and that increases the valuation. And some people, when you get to certain valuations, start to ask questions, and they decide that they no longer want to continue to hold their position. They want to take profits here because they feel that, that asset is overvalued. And that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. I think this is a valuation. This is a valuation sell-off. 919, you're on the air. What's up?
Hi, Sal. How are you doing?
Hey, Bats, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, nothing much. Just not admiring is the wrong word, but just in awe of these volatility indices. And I mean, when you have XIV dropping from $99 to $10 or wherever it's at right now, that's amazing. But yeah, so I think right now, with the way the market is right now, this is when, good low RSI strategies really work for to people's benefit, because what you want to do essentially is try to find stocks that are beat down to where if the market comes down, they're not losing proportionately like all the other stocks. So that's why I always I prefer my best plays are coming from the lowest RSI possible, and then looking for the upside. The only thing with that is that you may have a longer period of consolidation, and it may take long for that stock to bounce. So, for instance, looking at OHRP, it's been trading between 30 and like 35 cents, but it was virtually unfazed by what happened today, and that's because it was, beat down, and pretty much there's no other place for it to go on the daily charts. Yeah, so you want to look for those plays if you want to be conservative. I mean, there are a few others that were like that, but I think for us retail traders, I mean, I followed you, and you mentioned like the SQQs and some other things you can get to. Where you personally have an advantage is the fact that you've been trading options for a while, and so for you have that added strategy where you can either directly short the stock or buy a put or buy a call, and other various strategies you can use with that. So that's who I can say, people like you who are actively, and Connor and a few others who are actively trading options, they have a very, very big advantage in this market because, for instance, people are talking about shorting, and not all of us have the capacity to short or know how to do it successfully, let alone trying to get the actual shares to short. So this is where, like, for people like you who are experienced with options, you have so many different ways of making money in the market. So for me, focusing on low RSI plays, I am hoping to get into options, but I think I'll hold off for another couple of weeks just to paper trade and get more experience with that. But this is where I think a lot of us retail traders right now, the last couple of days, it's been the big boys. The sell-off is really coming from the big boys who are taking their profits. It's not from any economic disaster or anything. As much as, I don't really support Donald Trump, people are like, oh, he's been saying the economy is great. Come on, guys. It's one day's drop. When look at from when he became president until now, it's been his presidency and his policies as it relates to companies that's really taken the market up. That's just an objective opinion. I don't really care much for him, but anyway, you have people freaking out that, oh, okay, so if the market crashes, if it comes down, come on, it's been going.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely.
November 9th.
That's why, I like today midday, I just had to turn off CNBC. They were talking like the whole world was coming to an end. These guys, you watch some of those business news programs, you'll be in and out of trade so many times you'll never be profitable. You just have to sometimes stick to what the chart is saying.
Absolutely. So it's got nothing to do with him. And I think like at this stage, like I said, people are getting their profits, and everyone knew the market was overbought. So anyway, for us mortal traders, unlike Sal, who can do all these puts and calls and all these other stuff, I think there'll be a move, more of a move for us retail traders to go more into OTC stocks. I think I agree with Treasure Hunter in that if you were trading more than Nasdaqs, and you may find like there are not so many stocks to trade as the sell-off continues. But of course, the OTC markets operate by a separate, set of rules. So I think there'll be a net movement towards OTC stocks because, right now marijuana had a decent day today. You look at the MJX, the marijuana index, that looked very decent today. Forgot what that closed at, but I got into HEMP because I liked the chart setup there. Sorry, I meant MJ. Yeah. What is that? MJX.
Yeah, MJX.
So this one almost MJX setup. I would call this very similar to a bullish belt hold. It ended up not really making that much, minus 0.26%. But you look at the marijuana stocks in general, especially if you look on the OTC Markets website, you'll see that a lot of the gainers today, even though they weren't extremely big gains, were the marijuana stocks. So like I said, I'm in hemp or HEMP because I just like the way that's setting up and, looking for continuation on that. Maybe swing trade it for a week or two, depending on how long it takes to go back up. But that's a nice setup, and there were a few others, but, don't despair for people who are looking to go long, and maybe in the immediate term, it's going to look like it's going to be a sell-off. Just look for those stocks. There's another simple strategy you can do, which is just go on to FinViz and go to stocks that are oversold. So just with an RSI of 30 and maybe up by 3% with a volume of 300,000. And that will get you all the stocks that are beat down. You can then decide, depending on what kind of chart patterns you look for, support resistance, you can just decide on your own which ones you want to get into. I'll post one of my screeners for that, but for people like us who, trade with from low RSI positions, this might actually be a good time, and as well as a protective measure to make sure that you're not losing too much as the market sells off. This might be an excellent strategy. Yeah. And yep, that's all I have for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Bats, as always, for the call, man.
No problem. Thanks. I'll keep up the good work.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Bats. And that's an interesting conclusion he makes there. I mean, have we had guys who had, decided, hey, instead of playing OTCs, let me go play the large caps and, ride these moving average lines higher? I'm sure that was the situation. And, now, we're moving into what I believe now you're really going to have to be a trader now, right? You're really going to have to, figure out how to make money, between the moving averages, 3% here, 4% here again. So I think I think he's right. I think it could get very busy on the OTC side. We'll see. 206, Mr. Lloyd, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? Oh my goodness, what's up, Sal? Man, you got student. Is that a student title, man? I got
just a little polka dot shirt, man. That's all, baby.
You say polka dot?
It's got some dots on it. I mean, something like that.
Did you say polka dot?
It's not polka dot. It's got some dots on it, man.
Oh, some dots on it. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, let me go get my checker pieces. We can play some checkers, okay?
Yes, indeed.
Hey, what's up, man? How you holding up? Everything good?
Everything's good, Mr. Lloyd. I mean, appreciate you being here, man. I know you're busy doing a lot of things, but
I'm ramping up again, man. I'm ramping up, and basically I'm a little pissed off because I put all my money. So I emptied my trading account and put everything into to my LLC.
Okay.
Just so I'm not blowing unnecessary money. And here it is.
And by the way, guys, Mr. Lloyd's got like $250,000. This guy's got a shitload of money. So
come on,
all right, so
come
you
on,
moved
man.
into the
don't
LLC.
go there.
You moved it
Food
to
stamps.
you moved it to the LLC, and now you got a corporate account now, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, you motivated me to do that just
Yeah.
because it's with
There's some
for
tax
the mortgage
advantages.
interest. Yeah, and because of the mortgage interest, you can't apply it anymore if you don't. I can't use my mortgage interest for my tax return. So unless I have my LLC, then I can convert it over to that side. So anyways, that's in the works. But we've been talking about this huge drop for a long time. I mean, shit, since 2016, we've been waiting on this moment. And he was like, man, I'm ramping up. I'm putting all my money in my account. I can't wait for this fucking drop. And sure enough, the shit finally makes that fucking dip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little disappointed. But what is really upsetting? The Bitcoin hype. How in the fuck can you go from that almost reminds me of the Dries. You know what I'm saying? You remember Dries? How that shit went up to $200 fucking dollars, and now it's down to 50 cents.
I don't know what to say about that anymore, man. I don't want to beat the conversation to death, but bro, it came so quickly, it came so hard, and it's just gone now, man. I'm still like tripping about it because, bro, I remember like yesterday getting the emails, bro. Where are you? Bitcoin is it 20? It's going to go to 50,000, dude. You're not even talking about Bitcoin. Like the pressure was so, overwhelming, bro. It was so overwhelming, and I avoided trying to talk about Bitcoin until November, December, and then I fucking started talking about it, and look where it is,
And I feel so
molested,
bad,
bro. I feel molested. That's how I feel, bro.
Why?
I mean,
why? Out of all the
that's
out of all the pump and dumps we've been in, you shouldn't feel like been molested, man.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I mean,
they sold Bitcoin like it was going to be around for a long time. Like they sold Bitcoin, right? They sold Bitcoin like it was not going to drop. I mean, I could have fucked with a $700 drop, $1,000, and it was doing that. But what it's doing now, bro, you couldn't tell me that anybody in November, December was talking about this possibly happen who was pro Bitcoin. Nobody was saying that this was the future of something like this happening.
Well, and just think about all the beginner traders like we were. But I'm still a beginner trader, but a true novice where they heard word of mouth and they're putting their life savings into this. Because I've been that type of person before, where I think my first love for a stock was Friendable. I don't know if you remember that old bullshit
that stock's still even around. I mean, the float has got to be like 200 billion.
FBBL. Yeah. So that was the first one I've ever fell in love with, and just so I can just imagine so many older folks, like, oh my gosh, this is it, and people who aren't watching the stock market, basically they got sucked into this, and when the I don't know who allowed people they allowed people to short Bitcoin, and when that happened, basically it opened up the floodgates to bringing Bitcoin down, and I mean,
the futures market,
right? And right now, I looked at the the leverage that you need. You need $25,000 just to even play with Bitcoin with futures. Most leverages. Go ahead, say again.
I know
20,000. Excuse me.
I know you think your Friendable stock is a piece of shit, and it probably is, but it's actually probably a buy right now, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. I don't even want to talk about Friendable right now, man. That big ass scam. I don't even want to talk about it. Let me tell you. But anyways, man. So that's who I feel bad for the people who don't have the ability to read charts and stuff like that, and so they're the ones who got hurt the most. And so who knows, man, where this is going to go? But I had a buddy of mine explain to me why, Bitcoin is the way it is right now. And he says, since they allowed people to short it, they wanted to bring Bitcoin down. And this is the only way they were able to do this is by allowing it to go into the futures market. And so they can bring it down. And sure enough, this is what happened. So, I mean, are you completely out of it right now?
Yeah, I don't have any more Bitcoin, anything. Now, here's the thing, though. I would like to see you know, some other coins like Ripple and Litecoin, you know, maybe see what they can do over the course of a period of time. But Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin is an aging technology. But some of these other altcoins are the ones that are considered altcoins that are faster, that have a little bit more promising technology, you know, especially when it comes to remittances, international transfers, and speed. I think they have a chance, man. I think they could possibly come back again down the road. I mean, we're talking, you know, May, June, July or so. You know, once all this bullshit is came and gone.
Right. And Bats, I heard you call in earlier, so I just wanted to tell you, man, I finally sold that Ford. And remember, I bought those contracts on the 29th at 30 cents a contract. So I bought 200 contracts at $6,000. And right now, Ford is sitting at $1.20 a contract. So that's $20,000 from the 29th. Now, these are puts. From the 29th until the 5th, where you could have made, if you really bought those contracts and decided to put the puts in when we were talking about it, you would have been up $20,000 if you bought those contracts.
Now, what made you not do it? I mean, what made you turn against buying some of these Ford puts?
Well, because well, first off, I don't like the fact of buying 200 contracts and getting stuck with it, because here's the thing. I mean, you know, we know the liquidity is there, but if you're buying hundreds and hundreds of first off, it's going to cost you $200 to get in that motherfucker. And let's say my biggest fear is let's say I can only sell 190, so I'm going to be forced to buy that. The shares are going to get assigned to me at the full price, and so, you know, that's my biggest fear is getting assigned shares when I'm not able to sell it due to liquidity issues. And so I get a little nervous, you know, buying anything over 20 contracts, just because I don't want to get assigned, especially like Priceline. Ooh, can you just imagine you bought 10 contracts of Priceline and you can't get rid of them?
Well, yeah, Priceline I can see happening, but I mean, if you got something like Ford and you're buying 200, 300 at a time, bro, when it comes to sell, it's fluid, bro. You'd be surprised. I mean, I you know, you go on some of these ETFs like, you know, SPY, QQQ, bro, you can go in 1,000, 2,000 contracts and liquidate them, you know, in seconds, bro, in less than a second. Right. I wouldn't be, you know, if you've got a great daily volume, I mean, I'm talking, you know, 1,000 plus coming out, you know, a day on that option, and you got 100 or so, you know, you can liquidate that, bro. And I wouldn't be too intimidated. And you talk about being assigned. So are you like holding these through the expiration? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, sometimes I mean, I will hold it to the bare minimum, you know, even though you be up in a profit. I just, you know, I guess I get a little greedy and kind of hold 2 to 3 days prior to the expiration. But, you know, that's my biggest fear, is just to getting assigned a stock, and especially when it's a very expensive stock and when you got a lot of shares of them. I mean, I don't want to have to put my house up, you know, just to buy some damn stock. So
right. No, I mean, if you're just selling it to the market, it'll never be assigned to you. I mean, you're just buying the contract. You're just buying, you know, the option to do something. So you know, unless you're holding into expiration and they expire, you hold them, you know, and it's got profit on it, then, you know, you don't have to worry about that.
And it could be 20. I think what did you say, 25 cents or something like that, and they'll assign the whole damn. So you have 25 cents of profit. Yeah, they'll fucking assign all that shit to you.
That's true. If you've got the money in your account to do it, and you allow it to expire, and you've got some profit on there, it could very well expire, and you could very well be forced into that trade. That's true.
Now, let me ask you, man. So, you know, we've been having all these movements lately. Of course, you know, it started off with the Black Lives Matter, and I think now we're in the Me Too. So what do you think is going to be the next big movement?
Man, dude, honestly, I don't give a fuck, bro. I mean, I don't, you know, they come and go. I mean, 1 week is this, 1 week it's that. You know, when I'm looking at what the next thing that he might have to deal with, if he starts really talking about, what was this word he was talking about? What's the proper political word for it? It's basically government subsidies, but
welfare
reform and stuff like that. I think that could be, something where they start talking, especially if he starts becoming, as he's, as the administration said, they're going to start coming for those subsidies, particularly housing subsidies like Section 8. So if they start coming after those programs, I think that's the next thing he may have to deal with, if they're serious about it.
Somebody put down the making money movement. Yeah, that's what we need to fight for. Yeah, man, but that's the only thing I'm looking at. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't catch this move. I mean, actually, I did paper trade this morning in ES.
Okay.
And I caught it going down to negative $38. So I sold. I think I made like $5,000 or something like that. And who would have ever known that fucking ES would have went down $100? I've never seen ES, since I've been trading, go down $100 or more. I mean, have you seen that before?
No, I'm not familiar with this stock. The
S&P. I'm sorry, the S&P. The S&P. The ES.
Okay.
That's the symbol for.
Oh, okay. I thought you were thinking about the ticker ES. No, not at all. I mean, I knew a pullback was going to happen. We talked about that here on the show. We had a show just like that a couple of days ago where we talked about bearishness coming into the market. But no, I mean, if you would have told me 500, 600 points, bro, I would have never have imagined that. Not this aggressively, bro. And again, right. I bought some puts, but looking back in hindsight, I wish I had held them,
Right, and you've been talking about this for a long time. I mean, but, you've always predicted the Armageddon, like it's coming, I'm ramping up for it, and sure enough, when it finally is here, I don't have no canned goods, no flashlight, no nothing, and next thing I'm just like freezing to death right now because I missed out on a whole lot of money, watching I'm just a little pissed off, man. So
like I said,
anyways,
I don't think the bread lines are coming, but I mean, this is one to pay attention to. I mean, how low can this go? But again, we're still down. We're down after hours. We're going to continue to be down tomorrow. If it's tomorrow is another 500 points, bro, now people are going to start getting really concerned. So we'll see.
Right. Well, hey, listen, your picture for tomorrow, if it's still going lower, you should have like somebody doing the limbo. You know what I'm saying? Where the guy got real low, like with like 2 inches off the ground, something like that. So, anyway, that's me and Goofy, man. But anyways, man. You guys have a good one, Sal. Thanks for having me on, brother. And listen, you gotta take that shirt off, man. Look like a maze on you right now. I'm getting lost looking at it.
Thank you,
man. All right, brother. Have a good one, man.
All right.
Everybody.
Yes, indeed. Shout out Mr. Lloyd. As always, a good call. Always a good call. I mean, there's always gonna be something in this country to complain about, man. We live in America, bro. I mean, you have a constitutional right to argue about something. You have a right to demand something of your government. You're a taxpayer. So I'm not against any kind of political movements or whatever. We're all here for it. We're traders. We'll do whatever happens, we just trade on it. We'll just trade on it. Somebody said another gay movement, probably. Yeah. I mean, they're trying to do their thing with the kids in school too, man. It's kind of creepy. But 409, you're on the air. What's up?
Yes, sir. 4-time caller. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Who am I speaking to? This sounds like
Chris Tribble.
Chris Tribble. All right, Chris. Appreciate it, man.
I loaded up on the Viking Therapeutics stock.
Yes. VKTX, right?
That's it.
Yeah. VKTX, which is still doing well. Irregardless of the market sell-off, I'm guessing you're still long.
The after hours, got it. And it came back in like the last 10 minutes too. Shot up after hours, got it. It always does that.
Now, what was the situation with this? What are they working on that's got people excited?
I really can't remember. I just it's up. Okay. Been buying it.
All right.
And another one I did good on today was. Real cheap one is JAGX.
Oh, Jaguar Animal Health. All right. This is a funny little company. I've gone back and forth on this one, but it's got a lot of spikeability though to it. I mean, it's been really beat up. Nice little 2 days here. I'm guessing again this is another one where you're just playing the momentum here.
That's it. I'm out. I already sold.
Yeah.
I had an 8% gain on that one. BPMX. I got a 9% gain on that. That topped out at 14.84% today.
Yeah.
BPMX.
Let me see here. What's that? BPMX. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, nothing left on that one. But JAGX, that one looks like it might do something more. But you know, again, looking at that chart, it's probably got quite a few sellers in there ready for it. But
I made I got 12% on OGEN.
Okay, let me take a look.
That shot up about 19% today.
All right. Nice move on that. Tell me a stock that you got that you're holding right now that could possibly give us.
Viking Therapeutics. Okay. I'm still holding that one. Everything else is sold.
Everything else is gone. VKTX continue to move higher. You know, find out what the story is, guys. If you're interested in this stock, up 4%, 5 million shares traded today, which is unusual.
They've got some kind of share buyout they're doing. I saw.
Okay. VKTX is saying get out while you can. Yeah, I mean it's up huge, but it's still holding relatively well. I mean it's got some wide ranges during the day. I mean 664, 529 was the low. So it's a wide mover. That's almost $1.40 move on the day. But again, still ending up in profit, up 24 cents for the day. Not bad.
Yep. I do have one question. You're an expert. I've been looking at this stock, DCIX, Dana Container Ships. If you look at the 5-year, it was like 200 and something thousand a share.
Well, yeah, they've done a few reverse splits. They've done a few reverse splits in the past. I mean DCIX is just one of those stocks. The float is really the float's light as fuck though. I mean I got to be honest with you. The float's really light. If they come out with a great, announcement of, maybe some financing or maybe an acquisition or a couple of new ships that they've ordered, maybe that could really get the stock moving again. But as a long trade, I don't see it. I don't see it.
I just had a question because I saw it. I pulled it up on the chart. I was like, 200,000 a share. What the? Now I started to investigate reverse splits.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of them. Right. But I just don't understand how a stock can do that. I mean, does that happen a lot, or is that
for losing companies? Yeah, I mean, for companies that don't, just have real fundamentally wrong things going on with them. They continue to do that in order to stay listed on the exchange. But eventually, you can only reverse split so many times till you're either going to have to dilute shareholders by creating some kind of financing to increase that float, or just get delisted. And time is running out for DCIX, but it looks like another reverse could be coming. But I don't know how light this float can get, because I know it's already significantly. It should be, I think, below 10 million as it is right now. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I've been doing this. I've been paper trading since Google came IPO, and pretty well paper trading. And then so January 1, I go live stock trading, and I'm up about 13% on my total investments.
Wow!
So with fees and everything.
So how long has that been? I mean, obviously Google's been around for quite a bit. How long?
Yeah, that was back in like 2004, 2005.
Okay. Wow. So you've been paper trading almost 14 years now? Almost.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, I mean,
I'm not a pro like you.
Well, I'm never going to call myself a professional, but I mean that with 14 years of paper trading, bro, you are ready. You know what I'm saying? With that kind of experience, bro, you're ready. You know what I mean? To get out.
I'm pretty excited. I mean,
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna follow what you guys do. I want to learn the option side. I know that's where the money's at.
Absolutely. Don't rush into it, but. Yeah, definitely keep making trades and give us a call back, bro.
Hey, God bless. Keep it up, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the call.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Mr. Tribble for the call. And, 14 years of paper trading, man, that's, I can't get guys to do it for 2 weeks, man. Guys, email me, hey, man, I got $200. What stock can I buy? I'm like, shit. Do some paper trading, man. They don't listen, man. You know, they don't listen because, you know, email them back, hey, how's everything going? You know, still watching the show? Still, oh, well, you know, I think I'm going to take a break right now. I'm like, oh, okay, I already know what happened to him, you know. I already know what happened to him. That $200 is gone. You know? Yes, indeed. Yeah, he's ready to conquer, dude. 14 years, bro. 14 years of paper trading. You better be a millionaire in the next 60 days, man. You done got your, you know, all your settings. You got your rules down. You got your, you know, you ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You ready to go. Dude started paper trading when I was in what? I mean, 14 years ago, man. I'm freshman in high school, dude. Damn. Mr. Lloyd says like being a virgin for 40 years. Shit. All right, let's keep it going, man, because I got a pretty good list, but most of them are all large caps, man. I got to be honest with you. Most of them are all large caps. You know, because I'm just looking for value, right? I'm just looking for value. Bat Scientist is right. Bat Scientist is right. You know, and Bats was talking like he doesn't have a lot of money. Bats is sitting on 6 figures, too. I've seen, he showed me some of his trading account, some pics of his thing. He's sitting on 6 figures, too, talking about, oh, for those of us who don't have a lot of money, man, get out of here. What the hell? So, you know, NKE, I saw Nike sell off today. That's down 4% on Nike. Now, Nike, I don't think is a long-term winner. I don't think Nike's a long-term winner. You know, Nike, I think, is just, again, one of those products that's winning purely on international sales and not doing so hot on U.S. sales. Because people really don't give a damn about clothes like they used to. You know, I remember when guys used to be crazy about clothes and brands, but I'm not seeing that, you know, anymore. Even when you talk to the younger kids, you know, if you go to those inner city schools, of course, I mean, you know, when you live in a poor neighborhood, what you wear, you know, makes is your value. Unfortunately, those schools, you know, sad state of events. So those, you know, go to those neighborhoods, you know, the Nike and all that stuff, that still matters. But when you go to, you know, these good communities, people don't really give a fuck about what kind of shoes they have on. You know what I mean? For the most part, I'm just not seeing that energy anymore like I saw a couple years ago. You know, motherfuckers collecting shoes and stuff. I know you still got some guys who do that, but it's not like how it used to be, right? I don't see that shoe hype that I used to see, you know, 5-10 years ago. All right, E-mini futures. I never got into trading the E-minis and all that stuff. One thing at a time, man. You know, I got to get into futures. Some people say it's good money, but, you know, options is just fine. He said people will kill you over Nikes. That's unfortunate. See, that's the sad thing. But that's in those neighborhoods, though. You know, I don't want to get into that. But in those neighborhoods, yes. You know, what you wear is your value. You know, that's why when you go to those communities, you see the 10-year-old Benzes, 10-year-old out of lease, you know, Mercedes Benz, because that you know, that's what you drive is your you know, how you identify your wealth. You know, that doesn't apply everywhere. I know guys with $20-30 million net worth who drive Honda Accords, man. Keep your Nikes on Alibaba. Yeah, Nikes are that's what I'm saying. Nike, they've came out and said that they're no longer going to be putting their products everywhere. They're going to start really getting funneled, in shops where they're considered like boutiques and whatnot. So they're tightening their distribution process. Said no more Thundercat sounds for a long time. Yeah, well, I mean, we got to find a 600% mover, though. 600% or more in 5 days or less. Then you get the Thundercats. Let's take a look at it, all right? So a few more trades before we wrap up here. I should have wrapped up at 11. But couple more trades. A couple more trades here. EYES. Second Sight Medical Products. Second Sight Medical Products. Have no idea what this ticker is. This is the first time anybody's brought it up here on the... I won't say it's the first time it's brought up on the show. It looks familiar, but definitely tonight. First time that brought it up, Shaquille. Up 12.5%. Looking like a great short, but you left a lot of people up there at 260. So this could be a real move here. Nice volume brought into the trade, but unusual volume for the stock. And I do see here there was some news tonight about the first in-human cortical implant. Is this the first? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Manufacturer or marketer of implantable prosthetics that are intended to create an artificial useful vision to blind patients? Wow. This is some scary ass shit, bro. This is some scary ass shit. I've never heard of this ticker, man. Tough 2016, tough 2017, but I mean, I like where, it's setting up on the day. Let me look at the weekly here. Weekly looks really nice. Let's go further out on a monthly. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Setting up nice here, EYES. So it looks like there's some confidence coming back into EYES and what's going on here in the underlying story. If we look at the monthly chart and showing again here on the weekly, and then on the daily, we're getting the move. Interesting. I'm going to have to do some research on the story. Creepy ass company, but interesting chart. Yes, and thing. Thank you, Danites. Thank you, sir. Stock Z, you're with IB. Not working out. Try to change your financial details to unemployed, but it says I wouldn't be able to trade. Why did they not give you the right to trade, Stock Z? Financials to unemployed. Yeah, look, when it comes to Interactive Brokers, though, you got to be very careful what you put there on the application for Interactive Brokers. You got to be very careful. You never want to you always want to make yourself seem wealthier than you really are when it comes to the applications for your broker. You want to come off as a high net worth investor. All right, you want to come off as somebody who's going to make 100 trades a quarter. You want to come off as the guy who trades, naked options and who does covered calls, and you want to just look like you're the oh shit, we want this client. You know what I mean? You never want to be too honest about, especially if you're a beginner trader, you never want to be too honest about your current situation, especially a beginner. You don't want to put that you only take 5 trades a week or but even if you don't make that, put that shit down, dude. I mean, put that shit down. Yes, I make $1 million net worth. I'm a banker at here and here. They're not gonna, nobody's gonna fucking call your job. They're gonna call you, might offer you, hey, we'd love to be interested in managing your. You say, no, sir, I'm not interested. Thank you very much, and that's it. You're approved You're approved. You put in your money and you start trading. nobody's gonna, check in, go and pull up your tax returns or some shit like that. All right. And Stock Z said, won't that affect taxes? No, sir, because, your broker is going to send you the whatever it is that you've, earned or you have to pay at the end of the year after, some time. But that's not going to affect, what you say on that application is not going to affect anything having to do with your taxes whatsoever. Remember, you're trying to get approved for the highest ability to trade. 916, you're on the air. What's up?
Yo, what's up, Sal? It's Cali Rob.
Hey, Cali, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. I was just listening to the show, man, enjoying all the stock chat. And, I had to bring something up, man, because I heard Mr. Lloyd talking, and he was saying that you need the 20,000 to short the BTC futures, which that isn't true. There's two types of futures that are trading. There's one that's the CME futures, and the other one are the CBOE futures. Okay. The CME futures end up, one future contract controls 5 Bitcoin. That's why it costs 20,000 to short that one. But the XBT futures are the CBOE, where you only control 1 Bitcoin. So it only costs $5,000 for that future contract. So
okay.
you don't need 20 grand to short Bitcoin. Like, I've been shorting the CBOE futures. The ticker is XBT, and you only need 5 grand, man.
Okay, 5,000 for XBT futures. Looks like TradingView doesn't have it. If I can't find it.
It's something with the futures on TD Ameritrade. You have to type in a / to be able to get in. That's why when they were saying ES, it's actually /ES to get to the E-mini futures contracts, and so it's /BTC and /XBT. But I'm not sure if that relates to TradingView or I think it's a little different on every platform.
Yeah, I'm seeing it here. I think I pulled it up. It's XBT USD, so it's the full XBT USD, and it's saying that this is the Bitcoin. Where it says 61.50. Is that what the current price is? Are you familiar?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I can see it on your screen. I don't think that's the right one that you're looking at. I think XBT is like some other type of coin or something like that, and so you're looking at a crypto right now. But those are the differences between those two future contracts. And also, I had to call in and talk some smack about the options, man, because like futures and options are very, very similar. They're both like leveraged, right? So it only requires a small amount of capital to get that full control. The only difference between futures and options is that options have time decay. So as time goes on in your position, even though it's going your way, if it's not going your way fast enough, then you can still lose money in that. Whereas in a future, there is no time decay. You know, when a future trades, I forgot what it is, the delta or the theta, or I think it is, however much you make per tick. Like in the E-mini futures, if you have one E-mini futures contract, it costs about $5,000, and every single dollar tick will give you $50. Right? So if you just happen to short 2 E-mini futures contracts today at around 27, and right now I think they're trading around the 2,500 range, so you would be up 200 points per contract, or 400 points total, times $50 a tick would be a $20,000 trade.
Wow.
On if you took that position today.
And you're telling me that, okay, so one position is 5 Gs, or is that just the one that you're explaining?
Well, all futures have different prices, so the amount of margin required to hold that contract will differ from each future to another. But I only trade the E-minis, so the E-mini S&P, so I'm not sure about all the other ones.
Right. Now, in terms of, because I mean that sounds like, wow, those are some solid returns. What I can't. Maybe it's too simplistic to ask you what's more profitable. But what have you seen since trading both of those as? Maybe it's too easier to make money, even though I know that's not probably the right question to ask.
Like, the thing that I like about it, right, when you start trading SPY options, right, there's a lot of different values that come in for the pricing of them, the volatility, the delta, the theta. You also have time decay in the options. I mean, yeah, it's great when you get an option and it moves really quick. You're going to make a killing on it. But, I mean, even if it's moving in your direction, but it's not moving fast enough and you can't hit that profit number by the time goes on, and let's say you miss it by a little bit, your option is going to expire worthless and out of the money.
Right.
And with a future contract, it's, you know, it's very straight and very simple. Each tick in the S&P 500 is a $50 move.
So let me ask you something. Can somebody, because because I know there's somebody in here who's like, oh, I'm going to look into that, but I want to be honest with them. Can somebody with $1,000 go into the futures market and actually make some shit happen, or is it something?
Nah, you can't. So that's kind of, yeah, I guess that would be kind of the advantage is, you know, people with smaller accounts and things like that can't, you know, take a $5,000 position, or I mean that'd be risky too. You take a $5,000 position on an option and it expires out of the money. I mean, that's all gone.
Right.
You know, that's all gone. But I mean, in a future contract, that's not going to happen because there is no time decay. So whatever it moves, you get all of that.
There it is, man. Appreciate you so much, Callie. I think this is your first time calling the show, ain't it?
No, I've called in a few times before. Okay. A few times.
Yeah, but it's been
a long time.
It's been a while, though. It's been a while. But again, man,
and back then I used my real name in the chat room too. So and then I changed it to Cali Rob because I was in the Discord as Cali Rob, and no one could put two and two together. I was like, man, I need to become a celebrity out here.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate the call so much, man, and thank you for participating in the chat room, bro.
All right, thank you very much, Sal. You have a wonderful night.
All right, you as well. And thank you so much, man, for that info because, I would have left the show thinking, you need 25,000 to trade Bitcoin. But it looks like on one exchange you do, and there's another exchange where you don't. And we learned that futures, isn't necessarily a small account game. You actually have to be, although it is leveraged, you have to be well capitalized to take advantage of trading futures, all right? So again, guys, come back tomorrow because I want to see if this bloodletting continues, man. I want to see if this bloodletting continues. Again, I'm looking at the QQQ, I'm looking at the SPY, and man, these spreads are getting wide, bro, because the volatility is just insane. I've never seen spreads like this on the SPY or the Qs. I mean, tickers that are relatively liquid, all of a sudden, they've got spreads of 20, 30 cents. This is wild, QQQ, SPY, you typically 2 cents, maybe 3 cents here and there. I'm looking at through Tastyworks. And I don't know if anyone uses that. They've capped the price on options. I'm looking at the 160 put, February 16, 160 puts, which is what I would probably go for tomorrow morning if we open up indeed in the red. I'm looking at 750 on the ask. The bid is 440. So we're talking almost $3.10 spread right now after hours. Obviously, intraday that'll get tighter, but boy, it is what it is. All right. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Cali Rob, I should have asked you that. Put your Twitter in, if you've got a Twitter, put the Twitter in the chat room. Let me go ahead and ring this bell. Look, we went for damn near 2 hours today. Shit. And it never feels like it. I always tell guys, it never feels like it. Never feels like it on the show, bro. All right. Let me go ahead and ring this bell, ladies and gentlemen. Good show tonight. Come back tomorrow. Press like. Let's see if the bloodletting continues, man. Bloodletting continues. I'll tell you what, man. I'm ready to buy. You know, I'm ready to buy these dips. I'm ready to buy these dips, but I mean, I don't want to take an L in the process. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in a situation where I'm waiting for the market to come back to me because I bought too early. You know, guys who bought on Friday, they're sitting there hoping and praying that this doesn't go any lower. And ladies and gentlemen, they're going to wake up to some really bad news tomorrow as those call buyers, those buyers of stock on Friday continue to watch their positions go red as this insane profit taking continues on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and start the sound off. Thank you so much, Monk, Gucci, Bill Betts, U.S. Let me see, what is it? U.S. Oh, I thought you were putting in a ticker or something there, bro. Shout out to Bill Betts. Thank you, M1 Gunner. Juan Diaz, George M, Corey Kwan. I was unprepared for today in terms of like today on the market, man. I was unprepared. I still got my, you know, my gains on the penny side, but for the large caps, I just, you know, wasn't ready. But I'm going to be ready tomorrow, though. Definitely going to be ready tomorrow. Eban R, Bad Scientists, Andrew Gladness, DK Trades. A lot of money to be made out here, guys. You know, hell, if you don't know, just buy one put. Buy some of these inverse ETFs, man. SDAO. You know, SDAO. You got TVIX. These inverse ETFs, if you don't short, you don't buy options, they are inverse ETFs that play the opposite of the sell-off. You can buy these, trade them just like stock, all right? This is only $12 right now. It's going to be higher tomorrow. SDAO. What else? You also have DWD, I think it's called, or DED. Let me see, DED. Hold on 1 second. I want to give you that ticker again. What was that? DXD. There it is, DXD. The Dow continues to sell off. DXD goes higher tomorrow. It's 892 right now. This could go to 10 tomorrow, depending on how aggressive the sell-off continues tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. John Rambo, appreciate you, bro. Mace Engel. Again, thank you to all my callers. Be back here tomorrow. Until then, happy trading, everyone. BlackBoxTrader.net. Hit up my boy Tim Sykes, MillionaireTradingAcademy.com if you don't know anything about trading. Take care.